Michelle Smallmon from ESPN's Unsportsmanlike on the Browns quarterback situation with Deshaun Watson.
So you said they sold their soul. Then why are we surprised that they're in hell? Isn't that what comes with the territory? Isn't that the risk that you take? When you sell your soul, don't be surprised when you end up in hell. And that's where the Cleveland Browns are. And by the way, I do blame them for not having a viable backup at the quarterback position. You had evidence that this was coming. Evan, when you picked them to be the challengers to the Chiefs, I was banging the table saying, what have you seen from Deshaun Watson during his Cleveland Browns tenure that leads you to believe it will be any different? They should know their personnel. They should know that he's not physically capable of being the same quarterback. They should know he's not the leader that they're paying him to be. And they should not care about his feelings. They should care about giving the other guys in that locker room a quarterback that they can rally around and help them win some football games. And they did not do it. This is their fault.
Casey, I don't know that they don't have a viable backup quarterback. The problem is they're not willing to go there.
That hurt my soul to hear. Yeah.
You can't argue it. The problem is you can't argue with much of it.
No, I can't argue with the front part of it, but them to say they don't have a viable backup, to me, that hurts my soul. It's I think they have a clear option sitting right there on the bench. And I think the camera operator who was working that game knew, because every time they talked about it, he panned over to Five sitting on the sidelines looking dejected, just watching things happen. Jameis Winston,
he can play,
is more than a viable backup.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston's a lot like Joe Flacco. He's going to give you he's going to throw the ball downfield. The other team's going to get it some, but his guys are going to get it some too.
Well, that's when I see all the pining for Joe Flacco. It's like telling your kids, like, no, we got Joe Flacco at home. We already got this guy who can do all of those things you want him to do, and you want to be explosive. And it'd be a feel good. Like, you would go from being this team right now who's being laughed at and kind of vilified because of the quarterback that you have, to if you go to Jameis and you get Nick Chubb back, all of a sudden the vibe surrounding this team and the feel good nature of them within a month would be the feel good story of the NFL. It's that simple. But it's when are they going to rip the Band-Aid off, or are they even going to rip that Band-Aid off? We don't know. The conversations happen behind closed doors. But I do know this: if you get that same level of quarterback play that you've gotten the first 5 weeks, this next week in Philly, I don't know how you can march that back out in front of the home fans October 20th against the Bengals. I just don't know how you can do that. That would be a crazy environment. I don't know the last time that the Browns haven't sold out a home game, but I know you would not sell out that one.
The one thing is the cap hits, if you decide to move on for them, are, I believe it's $83 or $87 million for the next 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. That's why they're not sure that they're going to do that.
You might just have to tell him to stay home and pay him what he's in. But it's messy. There's no way around it. It's going to be very messy if it comes to that.